Hi, I'm Jeanne Schumacher, and we are Living Plant-Based with Gareth and Jeanne. Let me introduce Gareth to you. Gareth helps people to reduce or eliminate their high blood pressure medications through the no meds method. And you can find more about him on his Facebook. You can go on to Gareth R. Got the R this time. Gareth R. Davies. Okay.
And Jeanne is the founder of the Weight Loss Advantage, and this program helps people lose weight without dieting, of course. Actually, great to do that. You can eat what you like, but Jeanne will show you just what. And she's also got the Pregnancy Advantage coming soon, which is how can women really get their bodies ready to get pregnant. So, interest for women and interest for guys, of course.
Yeah. Yeah. And you can find a lot about that stuff on my website, Simply Plant Based. Okay, let's dive in. The coronavirus. What's going on in Norway?
Oh, well, it's interesting that we are speaking today, Jeanne, because Norway's just announced what it's going to do. The Prime Minister spoke a couple of hours ago, and we all get affected, and I'm affected because I came back from overseas just 6 or 7 days ago. I'm now quarantined for actually it might be a week or 2 weeks, but anyway, I can't leave the house. Not supposed to go in within a meter of somebody. So I can leave the house. Sorry, I can go skiing tomorrow, but I have to not talk to anyone, keep going past them, and can't go to a shopping center or a shop, or just got to quarantine myself. So that's pretty interesting. All the schools are closed from today, and many other measures which I haven't had a chance to read up on yet, but I'm sure my wife will be translating and delivering me the messages later. So it's going to make a huge difference here. The company I'm part of back in the UK, school photography business. Can you imagine? I'm just hoping that everything's fine there and they don't close the schools there for the next month, because it's a second biggest part of the year for school photography right now in the UK. And that business is a medium-sized business which is going to struggle, and of course there's thousands and thousands of businesses which are going to have to survive over the next few months. Absolutely.
We've had here in the US, they just stopped all flights from the US to Europe.
That's right.
So that has had a huge impact, and there's areas around in the United States that are hotspots. So they're kind of being quarantined. So I'm not quite sure how that's working and how much and how far this is. Our schools in the areas have closed. I don't know if it's been countrywide or the US wide. I don't think it has yet. I think it's just state by state in the areas of hotspots. But so what can we do? Well, obviously, if you can work from home and limit your contact from people. I mean, obviously the biggest number one thing is washing your hands, right? And keeping that going. And if you can't get to a sink, using a hand sanitizer. But I just want to caution people, because a lot of the hand soaps, a lot of the hand sanitizers are pretty toxic. So you want to be careful about what you're using. Please, please, please check on the EWG.org, environmentalworkinggroup.org. They have an app called Healthy Living, and they have a lot of products. And I know this is more US, but you can still check a lot of the products go overseas. You can still check some of the products as well. And if not, you can still look up the ingredients on the EWG to see what impact that is having onto your health. Because I know, I've washed my hands, a million times, in the last 2 weeks. I mean, ridiculous amounts of times. And my hands are just rough and raw. And, so, and I have found a company, if you're in the US, I found a company called Pure Haven that is absolutely 100% toxic free. And I mean, these products are just amazing. We have what's called Hands on the Go, which is a hand sanitizer it's so much better than what is out there for so many other people. Oh my gosh. Anyway, but you want to make sure that you are staying hydrated. The best go-to is to take some lemon water with a splash of maple syrup and, either drink that hot or cold. That's one drink. For me, if I get sick or I even think I'm getting sick, my drink is I take 20 ounces of hot water. I have one of my clean canteens and I drink from that. And I use 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, 2 tablespoons unsweetened applesauce, and about a half a tablespoon, depending upon your sweetness level, of raw honey. Now, if you're, 100% vegan, I don't know, some people go, oh, they're okay with honey. I'm okay with it. This is the raw honey that is solid at room temperature. And so I take some of that and I will add that to my drink, or, you could use maple syrup as well. But there's so many healing properties in the honey. It's crazy. So that's my drink when I'm not feeling well. So, but also too, you need to stay hydrated. Peppermint tea, chamomile tea, those are some great choices if you're not feeling well.
Yeah, I would add to that the foods that you eat, of course, the vegetables and the fruits with plenty of fluid in them as well,
Right.
because as well as the nutrients, you get the fluid, and building up all the good things we talk about generally about our immune system. That's what we want, really, really strong. And then we personally we just have to worry about passing on the virus. Then we don't have to worry about it affecting us too much personally ourselves, apart from like getting flu symptoms. If we've got a strong immune system, that's my belief. Yeah.
Well, and I think it's important too, because this whole food plant-based lifestyle gives us the opportunity to build a strong immune system without question.
Yes,
So.
I could have done with my immune system a couple of days ago when I came down the ski run a little bit too fast. Went over
No.
and I've got damaged my ribs and yeah.
No.
I
Did you
know,
hit a tree?
but I
Did
just
you hit
can't
a
help it.
tree?
It can't help it. No, I didn't hit the tree. I just came out of the track going on a bend that was too tight. I didn't have control and I was going pretty quick. Yeah.
And you wiped out.
Yeah, I wiped out.
Okay. Well, I'm
But
glad you survived.
it just made me feel like I was alive, Jeanne.
Okay. I'll let
So
you.
if you can feel your flu type symptoms, then you just know you're alive as well.
Okay. Yeah, I'll leave you to the skis. Yeah. I tried skiing once and I said, yeah, no, this is not a good thing for me. So that was
it's
it.
I love it. I'm very fortunate to be able to do that, and I do it as my exercise every day. So that's my hour. Get out the door and ski rather than go to a gym or a lot of fun.
Okay, if you say so. Well, okay, what happens if you get it? What do you do? Well, for me, and I love this, Dr. Greg Fitzgerald from Australia posted a fabulous piece. If I get the corona, leave me alone.
Yes.
That was great. And he talked about this whole thing because we need to be looking at the bigger picture here than just the virus, because we're dealing with more people dealing with heart disease and cancer, high blood pressure. I mean, all of these things that people aren't dealing with. We have a huge pandemic, obesity, oh my God, diabetes. I mean, that's the bigger picture here. I mean, yes, I'm not negating this flu in any way, shape, or form. Please do not think I'm doing that. But there's a bigger piece here that we have to talk about in terms of health. Okay, so if you do get it, what's the best thing? Get in bed, pull the covers over your head, and drink fluids. That's it. You're not going to be hungry. And let the body, think about it this way. You have so much energy in your body system, okay? We can choose to divert that energy to the digestive system because it takes a lot of energy to digest. So which do you want to do? You're not going to be hungry, so really don't eat anything, just drink the fluids because you're going to need that to keep your body systems all going and processing. You need the fluids. Pull the covers over your head, drink fluids, and let your body heal itself. And that's what it does really, really well. And if you do get a fever, let it run its course because that's one of your defense mechanisms. And I grew up, oh my God, you've got a fever here, take some aspirin, take some Motrin, we got to control this. No, I mean, obviously, okay, if you got 104, okay, then you start to worry. That's a little bit high. I mean, and I'm talking Fahrenheit, not Celsius.
That
Just
would be something to
saying.
worry about. Yeah.
Somebody messaged me and said, "Oh my God, if that was 104 Celsius, you'd be dead."
Yeah.
Fair point. But I'm talking Fahrenheit because over here
Hmm.
on this side of the pond, we still use this antiquated system. Anyway, I won't get into that. But if your fever gets really high to where you're above concern, okay, then take a little bit. But the fever is there to raise your body temperature to kill the virus. So if you take ibuprofen or Motrin or aspirin or Tylenol or whatever, it's going to bring the fever down, but you're just kind of delaying healing. So you're stressing your body out even more, having to deal with the drugs, and then you still have to deal with your body's raising the temperature to get rid of the flu. When you're ready to eat again, then make a nice restorative broth. Start with that because you're not going to feel like eating a whole lot. Start with a nice restorative broth. Like make mushrooms, take some mushrooms, some onions, some celery, some basic root vegetables, put them into a pot, boil it, then take the vegetables out, use it for something else, put it in the freezer. You can throw it into a stew or something down the road, but take and drink the broth. That is going to be tremendously helpful to start with that. And then when you're ready, make a nice creamy, like a potato, onion, tomato, celery soup. Put that in the blender. And that's going to help when you're ready to eat because that'll be the first level of food that you take in. And
Hmm.
it'll be healthy. It'll help you to bring all systems back online. How about
Well, I
you?
love that thought of, and I've done that myself for many years about going into a water fast as soon as I feel that I've got any sort of sickness, fever coming on. I was taught many years ago, well, what you just said, Jeanne, that there's a lot of energy goes into digesting foods. In fact, the two biggest areas of using up energy is digesting food and actually sex. And naturally we don't feel like sex when we get sick, so that's the body just taking over. It's so intelligent, and if we listen to it instead of listening to old wives tales that you need to do this or you need to do that, you need to eat, starve a fever and feed a cold. I mean, where did that come from? And I see it in many people around me when their kids get sick, and I think, oh, just give them water and leave them be and let them be quiet for a few days. And no, it's they got to have this, they got to have this. Oh, they've lost their appetite. They're sick. They must have food. No, they'll be fine for a few days without food. Yeah,
Yeah,
and it, like you said, it allows the body to put all its energy into getting rid of the bad stuff that's
right,
inside. Yeah, it
right.
makes so much sense, actually.
It does. It
Yeah.
does. So please take time, get in bed, pull the covers over your head until you feel like getting up and moving. And
Hmm.
you'll be fine. You're going to get through this, especially if you have a built up immune system like you and I have.
Yes.
So, you know, and I've noticed that in my past, if I do get sick, I'm not sick nearly as long as like my peers at school. I mean, some
Hmm.
teachers, they'll get sick and they'll stay that way for the whole winter. Not me. I'll get sick maybe one day, and stay home,
Yeah.
maybe two. And if that, it's pretty rare that I take sick days. So
Yeah. So, Jeanne, you've also been taking having some other changes by taking some liquids in, I understand.
I know I started doing, and I've always been kind of this opinion that we don't want to drink our calories. So I'm not a big fan of juicing or smoothies,
Hmm.
but I started doing a smoothie in the morning. And so my husband and I start doing this, and we make, and I drink about 32 ounces of this smoothie.
Like, I know
And
what 32 ounces is. Come on.
okay, in this smoothie, I'm putting like huge handfuls of kale,
Uh-huh.
huge handfuls. Like we get the kale in these boxes that come, and I just put the whole box in of kale and spinach
Hmm.
and put it into, we have a Vitamix blender, which you can take shoe leather down to the cellular level with this
Hmm.
thing. I mean, it's just such a powerful blender. The lights dim in the house when you turn it on. It's got a powerful engine or motor.
Hmm.
So I started doing this with, I did, kale and spinach. I added ground flaxseed. I've added amla powder, which is Indian gooseberry, which is high antioxidant. I mean, like ridiculous. It smells horrible, but you just throw it in the smoothie and you don't taste it, smell it, nothing. Because wow, by itself, pretty toxic smelling.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so what else did I put? Oh, blueberries and a banana. So again, high antioxidants in this, and it's like hyperalimentation for the body. So hyperalimentation, you've not heard that term?
That's what I thought you said. I have no idea what it means, but I thought you said hyper ali
Oh, I
something.
got you on one. Okay.
Yeah.
So hyperalimentation is basically you're packing a lot of nutrients into a small amount.
Mm-hmm.
And so this has been helping my body, and I just can't believe the changes. And I've been recording on my scale. It records my body fat, it records the body water, and it also records the bone mass, which is, as we get older, we are concerning. And so my body fat dropped from just doing this like a couple weeks. My body fat has dropped a huge amount. It went from 32.7. This was back in, let me see. This was back in last June of 2019. And I started doing this in probably mid-fall, late fall. And I measured this on January 5th, 2020 of this year. My body fat, and I really haven't changed hardly anything else in my diet because I eat whole food, plant-based, pretty low fat to begin with. But my body fat went from 32.7% to 28.7%. That's 4 percentage drops of body fat. Not only that, but my body water, the hydration went from 49 to 52. So my hydration went really high up. And again, I'm not increasing, the fluids or anything else that I'm consuming. Just this, that's all I've done is I've changed the smoothie. And then the most incredible thing was bone mass. My bone mass changed from 5.5 measured on whatever the scale is. It's now 6.6. So I'm getting bone mass back.
So is that a good thing?
I think that's a great thing because that's, as we get older, we tend to lose a lot of our bone mass, and it's, osteoporosis is something that is big, but I could only attribute it to the calcium that I'm getting in, phenomenal amounts in these leafy greens. So my bones are building back up. So, wow, I'm kind of excited about this. So
I don't know the answer to my own question there, but I always thought that the flexibility and strength of a bone was the most important thing, and I wasn't necessarily improved by the mass of it, but it could be a big difference, and it could be a real benefit with, excuse me for this, Jeanne, middle-aged ladies. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah, sorry about that. But
that
we are
just
what
made
we
my
are.
day.
We are what we are.
And we've discussed this, that basic simple algorithm for men. Yep, got it. Yep. So anyway, so what do you drink? What do you drink for hydration?
I drink water, tea. I have a green tea quite a lot. One of our brands here, which I like. Do you know, that's about it? Tea and water. Yeah. But again, all the foods that I have are quite high water content. Right. Vegetables, fruits. So I can't think of too much I have, which is maybe the odd time I'll have a piece of bread or a wrap, which hasn't got a lot of water in it. But apart from that, it comes from the foods and just water and tea. Yeah, because I have to drink tea because I drink it like this with my finger out. Because
Get out! You do not. Is that some kind of British humor over there?
It's true. Well, we have to. We get trained when we're kids. We go to school, and if they see you with your finger in, they come around the teachers and bend it back. And
they do not. You're making that up. You're making that up. Well, my favorite. I mean, I green tea. I'm not a big fan of, and especially it's got caffeine in it. So that's one of my concerns. But it is
Not
a
my
great,
not my one hasn't. So there you go. So yeah,
okay. Well, most green
yeah,
teas do.
yep.
And so, but it is a good antioxidant. So that's
Hmm.
great. So we want that. So my big favorite, I love, almost every day I have this. It's called the rooibos chai, which is naturally caffeine free. And I add just a splash of almond milk to it.
Okay.
And oh, so good. That's just like, if I have a cup of tea in my hand, life is good. You know, life is good.
You
Just
might be
think about that.
British.
Maybe in another life or something. Could be.
Maybe you could try putting your finger out the next time you.
I got another finger I could put out that would work too. But anyway, but think about this. If you have a cup of tea in your hand, I should write an ode to a cup of tea, because that means you've got water. It means you've got potable water. It means you have
Yeah,
tea. It means you have a glass. It means you have the ability to heat that water up. Okay.
yeah,
And you not only have all of those things, but you have the time to drink it. So I love having a cup of tea. Life, if I'm having a bad day, I just have a cup of tea, and my everything in my life just changes.
yeah.
I'm just so thankful that I have this cup of tea in front of me, and life is good. I found another one called, it's by Tazu, Tazu. I don't know if you have this company over there across the
Uh-huh.
pond, but they have a recipe called, or tea called, glazed lemon loaf.
Okay.
And I keep these tea bags in my purse. So like if I'm out having dinner or someplace, this is my dessert. And everybody else is eating, you know, things that I can't have. I'll pull this out and I'll have a cup of tea and
Uh-huh.
this. And this is like having a dessert in a cup. It tastes exactly like a glazed lemon loaf cake. It does. I don't know what they did. Don't know how they accomplished this, but it tastes just like a cake. I don't know how they did it. But I have a recipe for infused water. Have you ever done infused waters?
No, I've no idea what that means.
Really?
Infused water. Does that mean like the water's angry or something? Or
No, infused water means that you let the water sit and allow things to infuse its flavor into it.
okay, okay.
So I make this drink. It's called carrot cake drink. Okay. So I have this big, it's like a 4 liter for you
Mm-hmm.
metric people. In
Thank
the
you.
US, it's like a gallon. So I have this big jug that's got a little spout on the bottom. And in the summertime, especially spring, summer, fall, early into that, while it's still warm, this is such a refreshing drink. And I'll keep this in the fridge going. So I just fill it up with water. And then I'll take carrots, I'll slice them thin and put that in there. So like maybe a carrot stick, a whole carrot, large carrot sticks, thinly sliced, just put it into the container.
Yeah.
Then I'll take 3 cinnamon sticks, not the cinnamon powder, but the actual stick, and put it in. And then I'll take maybe a tablespoon, more or less, of grated ginger, and I'll put that into the water. And you let it sit for about 12 hours overnight. So you make this
Mm-hmm.
before you go to bed. And then the next day, you have carrot cake in a drink with no calories. You just have the flavor in the water.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God, it's so good. Literally, you think you're drinking, I mean,
Carrot
it's
cake.
carrot cake in a drink. Yeah, in water. Who knew? So that's one of my favorite things to drink, like
Okay.
especially coming up for spring or summer.
Yeah.
But that's a great thing. And I can reuse that. So like when the water goes down about halfway, I'll just fill it back up. And then that stuff will continue to infuse the flavor into the water. So it
Uh-huh.
keeps it going for a while. And I keep that going, pretty much a week. I can get out of that, maybe 3-4 days, something like that, 5 days.
Okay.
So, and then I'll just empty it out and start again. And you can put other things in there. I mean, the standard is like putting lemons or some mint into the water to give it a minty flavor.
Yeah.
things like that. You can
Cucumber.
infuse cucumber. That's another
Yeah.
popular one. And I
Yeah.
really like the flavor, especially, I don't know, do you have over there Persian cucumbers?
I would not know. I heard someone talking, a comedian talking this week about paint colors and
Okay.
how guys basically only have two colors, black or white. Where women have, and he named all these, and he named one of them was periwinkle. And it's like, periwinkle, what is that? And every woman in the audience was going, yeah, we know what that is. And the guys are going, what is he talking about? And it's a bit the same with that, really. Yeah,
Okay.
we're a little bit more basic, I suppose.
Okay. Well, Persian cucumbers are amazing in their flavor. It's a different species than the traditional regular sized cucumber. They're
Uh-huh.
much smaller, and the flavor, the crunch on these things is spectacular.
Uh-huh.
And the flavor that they give, to salads or to infused water is amazing. So,
So yes, with the water, I because we are 75% water, somewhere around there. It's really, really important. So I make sure I have a filter fitted in my house. It's an eSpring filter, which
mhm.
I use for for drinking, for making food, for tea. When I have tea. So it's so important to get a big chunk of my diet is water. So I want it to come from a great source. So I actually recommend people to do that as well. Yeah.
Well, I will take it one step further because my background is chemistry, and I've been studying water for like 25 years.
Hmm.
And it, to me, is one of the most amazing substances on this planet. And so at my house, I have three different types of water. So I have the tap that comes in from the town,
Yep.
but I also have a reverse osmosis, which I don't recommend drinking. I have it for hydroponics for my plants.
Hmm.
They like a little bit more acidic, on the acidic side of water. And then, so my water goes from the tap, or from coming in from the town, then it goes through a 4-stage filtration system. And here in the US, you can find out what's in your water if you're getting it from the town. They have to post quarterly a water report so you can see what chemicals that you're dealing with in your water.
Yeah.
So I have a 4-stage filtration system that I custom designed to deal with the chemicals that are in my water. And then once it goes through that, it comes up, and on my countertop, I have what's called a Kangen ionizing machine. And this will take the water and break the water molecule apart into the H plus and the OH ion.
Hmm.
And I can change with the touch of a button the pH of my water from
Okay.
2.5 to 11.5.
That's
So
great.
that
Fantastic.
is.
It shows you're thinking about it because again, it's a big deal. I mean, with there's our sales. I do let people know about this particular product, and the reason it's doing so well in the last couple of weeks is that there's a film just been released. I don't know if you know it. It's about America. It happened in America. It's called Dark Waters,
No.
and it's a film about, oh gosh, what was that place in the States where
The
they
lead?
continue the lead in the water? Yeah,
Flint, Michigan.
yes.
Yeah.
And it's about the guy who was the lawyer. I think he started off on the government side, but then he realized what they were doing, allowing this certain chemical to stay in the water. And it's a chemical that once it gets in your, sorry, I can't remember the name of it, but once it gets inside you, you don't get rid of it. It's in you for life, and it causes a lot of problems. And they continue to let this water chemical into the water, and many people died. But this is the interesting bit. This is our British business I was talking about. So this was, I believe, maybe 15 years ago, somewhere around that. And the British government decided to do a study at that time, and they did a study. And what their recommendations were after it were that is a possibility that this could be in UK waters as well, and recommended further study. Okay, which is basically saying it is in the water. We haven't done anything about it, but we need to do something. That was 11 years ago. That particular study. Guess what's been done?
Nothing.
Nothing at all. And so That's why, and our that particular eSpring model takes out that chemical amongst many others. So got to be careful of the water you put in
You
your body,
do.
folks. Yep.
You do. And you want to get the best quality water that you can afford,
Yep.
without question. To me, it's one of the most basic necessities that we have, because you're right, 3/4 of our body is water.
Yeah.
So, okay, Gareth, because we're running out of time, what would be one thing you would suggest for someone who wants to successfully transition to a whole food, plant-based lifestyle? What is one thing?
Oh, I'm so biased here, Jeanne, because the information to go there, whether it's the reason why, whether it's the recipes, whether it's how to stock your kitchen, it's all out there for free on the internet. But it's such a drug, food that we put in our body, and to change from 30 years or 20 years or 50 years of eating a certain way, to change to a plant-based diet without any, I certainly don't have any added oil or salt or sugar in the cooking. It's almost impossible for most people to do that without help. So I would say, yeah, get the information, but get yourself a coach. Get someone who can guide you along the way, who's there when it gets tough, because it will. Because you're detoxing. You're coming off, a toxin you've been putting in your body for 30 years or decades at least.
I know. I've had people tell me, I felt better when I was eating crap.
Yeah.
I know, because your body's starting to heal.
Yeah.
And you're releasing a lot of these toxins, dear, and you are going to feel bad for a while, but hey, guess what? There's a light at the end of the tunnel, and your body's going to heal. So you're right. It is powerful to get a coach like you or me. We both do this, and we both help people to change their health destiny without question.
Absolutely.
Well, I think for me, one of my biggest things is you have to make your house, your home, your wellness center. You have to clean out everything. You can't, if it's in your house, it's in your mouth without question.
Yep.
Because it's just a question of time before it gets into your mouth. And I've had people say to me, oh, well, I buy some of those for the grandkids. And, yeah, the grandkids never get them. You get them.
Oh, I wondered if my wife left those cookies in the kitchen. Hang on, let me go. Oh, no. I won't.
Right?
That's
exactly.
the deal. Huh? You made me think about that then, Jeanne. Come on.
I know. So you're thinking about these things ahead, all the time, like, I'm kind of a little hungry, but you're not really. But, hey, a glass of water would kill that, whatever craving.
Yes.
And many times you're actually thirsty. The thirst mechanism is so weak in our bodies that we actually think we're hungry when in reality we're thirsty. So, yeah, cheers, right?
Yeah.
But making your house, your home, your wellness center so that you don't have to worry. When you come home, you can eat anything in the house. And that makes all the difference in the world, especially now because I'm in kind of a lockdown situation here. And all I have is my fridge. And so, I'm in that situation where I really need to make sure that I'm fully stocked. And then everything in the house is compliant. So it doesn't matter what I eat. I'm okay with it. So that's my big thing. So, awesome. Gareth.
Yes.
On the next show, we are going to dive into the paleo versus keto. This is going to be a good one.
That is going to be a lot of fun. Yes.
Yeah, I know. Because stay tuned for that one, because that's going to be a huge one. All right.
Look forward to that, Jeanne.
Yes. And so I will see you across the pond.
Across the pond. Absolutely.
All right. Take care. Bye-bye.